Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome and thank you so much for watching today. I am going to be doing a card that I've had in my head for a little while, and I really wanted to use a couple of items that are retiring, and I hadn't used them enough, but nonetheless, once these retire, I will still be having them in my own personal possession and for my own personal creations. So the two stamp sets I'll be featuring today is the Brushstrokes. This is a fantastic background stamp. I absolutely love it. And the Cool Treats stamp set as well. This will be staying in my collection. Out of these stamp sets, what I'll be doing is I'll be using the Brushstrokes obviously as a bit of a background, and I'm using the Your Sweet sentiment of this stamp set. And today's project is featuring cool punch art. I love punch art, I adore it, and I wanted to make a watermelon card. I know they've been done many times on the internet. You can see it on Pinterest or you can Google it, but I'm going to show you how I'm doing mine. The reason why I've decided to do a watermelon themed card is because this little gorgeous punch here is going to be featured in our annual catalogue, and it's the new detailed, it's called the new detailed punch. So basically what it provides is a corner rounder, a little hole for you to put tags and whatever else with that, and rather than being a corner, you can use it straight across, so it goes like that, right? And the corner ones can only be used in the corner and so forth. So this is a fantastic punch. So what I've decided is it has this gorgeous little detailed corner here, and I just looked at that and I went, oh my gosh, these three little things here that look like leaves, they would actually make awesome seeds. So today, after being triggered off by this, I'm going to be making a punch art card. So the colours we'll be featuring today are Garden Green, Real Red and Whisper White. Now out of the Whisper White, I'm going to be using the two, I've got three punches. I've got a 2.5 inch, 2 1/4 inch and 2 inch. The 2.5 inch has long been retired. However, I still have it and I will be using it at times. There is a 2.5 inch circle in our circle framelit dies, but because I have this punch, I'm going to use it, but feel free to use the circle framelits dies as well if you'd prefer that size. I like the size of this being, from 2.5 inches up. So I'm just letting you know this is a retired punch. If you have it in your possession, by all means use it, but I'm using it today just for ease. So to start off with, I'm going to get some Garden Green cardstock and I'm going to punch out the 2.5 inch circle. So you can use your framelits for this or whatever punch you have on hand at home. So this is a very simple but fun card to do. With the 2 1/4 inch circle punch, I'm going to cut out a white piece of cardstock, and I'll just make sure that I've got the right, yep, 2 1/4, sorry, this is 2 1/4. You see where I'm going with this? And the 2 inch circle punch is going to be Real Red. So I'm using things that you may have access to already, minus this punch, unless you're a demonstrator. So what I'll be doing with all of these now, as you can see, that looks like a watermelon already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue them together. You can use whatever glue you like. I like using my PVA glue. I've had it for years. It doesn't seem to go away. Okay, so we just make sure it's even all round. So that looks good. Now I'm going to do my Real Red. Pop that on top. Okay, so this looks fantastic. See, it looks like a watermelon sliced right through, doesn't it? All right, now I'll wait for that to kind of just adhere together for a little bit. I've got some scrap piece of black cardstock. I've done a technique here, which didn't quite work out as I planned, but nonetheless, this is basic black cardstock. We're going to use that detailed corner there. So just butt this into the corner of the punch. Just punch down, and as you can see, I have three. Oops. I'll just put them down here. 3 little teeny tiny seeds. I'll put them on a piece of Whisper White so you can see them up close. They're pretty small, but to me they look like seeds. So I'm going to punch that out 3 times, and I'll just put them there. So as you can see, it leaves a lovely little detail there. So I'll do this again too. So that's 2 times. And 1 more time. I'll use this corner, yeah. Okay, and I've got myself now 9 little seeds, okay? Now, with this circle, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to use my paper trimmer for this. I hope that works out. I haven't practiced this card before or anything, so I'm just doing it off my head, and I hope it works out. So I'll just bring in my paper trimmer, and if you put your circle here, I'm going to aim it for the middle, so I'm going to do it onto the 1 inch, like at least this part here to go to the 1 inch mark. Let's see. Okay, that looks about right to me, and I'll just go through with my trimmer. And I'll just use my snips for the end of that. So it's exactly cut it in half. You can use your scissors, whatever you wish. So I'm just going to use my snips because it didn't cut right through. Just cut that right through. Okay. Any bits that are not trimmed properly, just give them a nice trim with your scissors. So there's your half watermelon right there. And I'm just going to trim this up a little because, yeah, don't use the trimmer. I tried to do something but didn't work out. Don't use the trimmer, just use your scissors. You're better off. Okay. So I'm going to have 1 half watermelon, and then I'm going to cut this into quarters. So I'm going to cut it into 2 quarters. So now I have 3 pieces of watermelon. So that's how mine's going to kind of look, like that. Oh yeah, I need to bring out my scallop punch. So bear with me for 1 minute and I'll be back. Okay, so I've just brought around as well the 1 3/8 inch circle punch, and for one of these watermelons I'm going to do like a little, like they'll look like little bite marks. So this is going to go through 3 layers of cardstock there, but can you see that now? So it looks like you've taken a couple of bites out of that. So that's really cute, and it's in good proportion to this as well. So yeah. If you haven't already, you can order this at the moment with our occasions catalogue. So it's available now, and it'll also carry over into our, I've lost for words, also into our annual catalogue too. So good for times. All right, so with these watermelons now, I'm just going to grab some tweezers because I'm not really good holding little teeny tiny things. So I'll just bring my little seeds and I'll just start arranging the seeds. So I'll add a little blob of glue onto each little seed. So I'm just going to put that, I'm going to put it about here. So 1 in the middle. I'm not sure where I should put it, but sometimes I'm just going to randomly put them in there because we find seeds normally all over the place, really. But I put them like this. And another one. So it comes with a slightly larger and then 2 smaller seeds. I'm just going to do it like that. So as I said, this is not a unique idea with the watermelons and the punches, but I just wanted to do a card like that because it's just fun. There you go. The glue's still there. It will dry up in a minute. But isn't that just the cutest? I love these so much. Okay, now we'll just start arranging our seeds on here too. We'll go here. And our smaller one. Oops. And one more small one. So that's that one. Isn't that cute? It looks like with the, you know, bite taken out of that watermelon. Gorgeous. Now I'll just finish up with the seeds. And we'll do it this way. And we have the fire brigade, I think, going past. Yeah, so apologies for the late, you know, the loud noise. I meant to say not late. Oh, it's gone the other direction. Cool. All right, now one last seed there. And we're done. How cute are these, honestly? So create your own watermelons. Aren't they cute? Love them. All right, so what we will do is we're going to grab a piece of garden green cardstock, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp that in garden green with the Brushstrokes stamp set, so it's going to give us some nice stripes. For this card I will be using the Stamparatus, only because I want to make sure that the background turns out nice. So you only need just the one plate for this today. And for this, I'm not going to use the the magnets. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some painter's tape. I'm just going to curl it around on itself. And because it's low tack, I'm quite happy to use it. I'm just going to stick it into the middle of my Stamparatus there, and to keep my piece of cardstock in place. And it also doesn't provide any bulk, so you can stamp there. So I'm just going to place the stamp, the brushstroke stamp, over the top of it, like so. Then I'm going to put the base, and I'm going to just make sure it sticks onto the plate. So I'll take off the plate and give it a good press on my table so it stays on. Okay, so that should stay on. I'll put my plate back on. And now I'm going to ink up my stamp in garden green. And I'm going to do just tone on tone, really simple. And I like doing my own backgrounds. I think it's a lot of fun. And if I don't get it right, the beauty with the Stamparatus is that I can do it again until I get it right. If I'm missing bits or whatever, this makes it easy. So I'm just going to give it a good press. And that's how that turned out. But I'm going to stamp it again. I'm just going to press down. Give it a good press. If that's any better, yeah, much better. Give it a good press where, you know, you have a look and see where it needs extra pressure. And that's pretty much done, and that's a light area anyway. So I'm pretty happy with that. See that? I love how this works with background stamps. It's actually quite cool. So I'll just give it another press all around. Didn't even need to re-ink it. Just close up my ink pad, garden green. And I think that turned out great. And it's the garden green is the perfect colour of watermelon as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love it. So I'm really pleased with the background stamping. The Stamparatus or any of your stamping tools are awesome for this. I just love it. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp and just using my chamois. And Stampin' Up! Also are releasing their own chamois. If you've seen other videos of demonstrators showing their chamois, it's quite thick, and you just keep wetting it every time you use it. I might grab myself one of those when the catalogue goes live. They are available for pre-order, but like everybody else, I'm on a budget, so I can only get what I really need. Basically, I need everything, but I've got to be a bit picky. So I'll get that another time, but definitely that will be on the cards. Oh, and with this as well, I will be using it again, actually. I'm putting my foam there because that helps me to stamp near the edges and the corner. I highly recommend you use that. With the Your Sweet Sentiment, I'm going to stamp that in basic black, and I'm just going to bring out my piece of Whisper White cardstock. And what's going to happen is it's going to layer like this over the top. Okay, so it just provides a nice little background, and then I'm going to have it over the top of my garden green card base. So just bear with me, I forgot to bring my bone folder, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've just gotten my bone folder, and then I remembered I needed a couple of other things, so I got everything whilst I was on a break. So what I'll do now is I'm going to bring my card little panel here, and this is how it's going to be laid out, and I'm going to use the sentiment up here, but I'm just trying to think whether I should just use a Whisper White card base, and I love the crispness of the Whisper White, and just use that at an angle. I love that. And then the garden green, which is pretty much tone on tone. And I'm thinking to myself that maybe I should, oh, decisions. The green looks good, and then the white looks like this. I don't know what to do. Let me think. See that? And then this. Again, just trying to make up my mind. I don't know what you would prefer. But you know what? I'm just going to go with the, I think I will go with the, the garden green. Yeah, I think I'll go with the garden green. Alrighty, so what I'll do is, with my garden green card base, this is a A6 card base, so it's an A4 cut in half, scored in half again, and I'm just going to burnish that score line. And I'm just going to leave that to the side for a minute. With my front panel here, I'm going to adhere it down, and I'm going to be using my what's left of my fast fuse. And I'm going to angle it like so. Okay, I'm going to pop this into the Stamparatus, and I'm going to be using my quilter's grid. I've covered it in, instead of like laminating it, this is before I got a laminator, I covered it with contact, and it's a bit bubbly, but it does the job, and it keeps, I can't see the grid lines very well on this. My vision's not great, so I'm using the quilter's grid, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the Your Sweet Sentiment from the Cool Treat stamp set, which is retiring, unfortunately. But I'm going to grab the Your and just make sure it's straight on the grid here, and then Sweet. And I'm just going to do them both in black. I know it seems a little boring, but I like the way when you put something, when you have black, it really makes everything pop. So I'm just going to now put my plate over the top, put that away. I'll grab my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and I'm going to ink up the stamp. I'm going to wipe off any excess just to make sure I don't get it anywhere. It won't happen, but you never know. Oh, that didn't. Okay. Wipe it off again, and we'll just put this down again if it doesn't work out. Okay, and I'm going to re-ink it again. Oops, I've got myself black ink everywhere. Oh, wipe that off with my chamois. Do it again. Oops, make sure it's right in the corner. That's what I love about having the Stamparatus or any of those stamp platforms. If you don't get it right, you can keep going until it's right. I want to make sure that's really, really dark and vivid. Make sure it's right in the corner and stamp again, and I think we've got it now. And that's a close-up. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I'll pop now my Stamparatus away. And I'm glad I used my Stamparatus today, because if I was to use my block, I would not get it precise. That's just me. I'm not that great with getting it right after I've stamped it. Alrighty, so let's bring back our card base and put our panel on the front there. And I'm going to use my fast fuse again on that. You can use whatever adhesive you have. Okay, so that looks really good actually with the garden green. I'm glad I used that in the end. So now we're going to pop our watermelons like so. Isn't that cute? I love it. Alrighty, so I'm going to pop those up with dimensionals because I like my cards to have some dimensionals. And these are the large wood mount cases that we sell. I use these to store my Stampin' dimensionals, so everything is all in the one place. I also use these as well to store, you know, gems and things like that. So these stamp cases are not only for stamps, but you can use them for storage solutions as well, which is fantastic. Okay, I've just got to find now where the opening is for this thing. Oh, yeah, okay. Alrighty, so just grab some dimensionals now, and I'll just pop those here and here. Get another 2 here. I'll make it 3. Why not? Make it 3. Put that over here. Oops. And I'll pop that like that. And then I'll pop this one as well on a couple of dimensionals. Off they go. Get off, backings. Come off. Got lots of ink. All right, and then I'll pop this like that. And there we have it. Isn't this the coolest? I love that. And then for the inside, I've got a piece of cardstock there. Oh, my trimmer didn't do that very good job with that. Just trim off those excess bits. Hang on. Yeah, it's better. Just had a little amount there of frayed cardstock. I think I'm due for a blade change. So anyway, I'm going to stick this in here, and I'll just get some fast fuse. And I'll just put that here in the... I'm not going to decorate it, I'm just going to leave it blank, so when someone does something nice, I'm just going to say, you're sweet. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Highly recommend grabbing the Cool Treats and Brushstroke stamp sets. As you can see, you don't even have to use the images on this. The sentiment's awesome. Look at that. And I love the brush strokes as a background. It looks like, you know, just looks awesome. You can make your own backgrounds with this. Really fun card. And I highly recommend you get these too. Great use of your punches. Scalloped circle punch is great for, you know, adding teeth marks if you like. And your punches are awesome. You can use them to make very simple cards like this, and they look like loads of fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave me a comment below this video, or you can privately message me, and also you can follow me on my Facebook page. What was I going to say? Yeah, if you're interested in buying any of these products, I would really love to have the opportunity to earn your business. I had a query recently about selling overseas. Unfortunately, I can only sell in Australia. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you're in Australia, or you like what you do, what I'm doing, and you'd like to buy from me, I would really, really appreciate your business. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and thanks again for coming past. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.